You gotta be on your ass.
Tony Soprano, a North Jersey mob boss, philosopher of violence. Oswald Cobb, the Penguin, Gotham's coldest predator. Who is the most sick bastard? You look at Tony, and what you see isn't just a criminal. You see a man buried alive inside himself. He goes to therapy and he doesn't want to get fixed. He wants to believe that deep down he's not beyond repair. Tony is torn. He does terrible things, but he feels the weight of it. He says he doesn't, but he does. You can see it in his eyes. You can hear it in his voice. His whole life is a contradiction. He kills with his bare hands, then looks for something, anything, to explain why. He loves his family, but he endangers their souls every day. He's not a sick bastard because he enjoys it. He's sick because he can't stop it. Penguin? He doesn't have that contradiction. There's no battle going on inside of Oswald Cobb. There is no grief, no guilt. That's not a man who lost his way. That's a man who burned the map on purpose. He once said, "You still think there's good and bad, right and wrong? There ain't. There's just this. Survival, security, pleasure." Tony was shaped by absence, by the presence of someone who could never love him. And that damage didn't give him a complex, or it planted a rage inside him that never found a home. And all these years later, you can still see that boy inside, the one who wanted to be held, but learned how to hurt instead. He once said, "What kind of person can I be where his own mother wants him whacked?" That wasn't rhetorical. That is a man literally trying to understand how the world could turn out so wrong before he ever had a choice in it. Now, as for Oswald, his mother is still alive. She knows he killed his brothers, locked him in a sewer. She almost had him whacked herself. But in the end, she forgave him. Now let's look at how they handle violence. Tony kills because he's overwhelmed, because the pressure builds, because something inside him snaps. He strangles people he knows because these are people he loves. He kills to end a feeling he can't name. He once said, "The things I take pleasure in, I can't do." And that's what makes him tragic. He's a sick bastard. The violence gives him power, but it never brings him peace. As for the Penguin, he kills for strategy, for message, for design. Kills like an architect drafts a blueprint. There's no hesitation. There's no twitch in his hand. Just efficiency, only evolution. Tony is the kind of guy who might regret it afterward. Penguin is the kind of guy who enjoys what it builds. Tony has panic attacks after dinner. The Penguin delivers monologues after murder. And when it comes to loyalty, Tony preaches about it, he weaponizes it, and then he steps over the bodies of men who loved him. He talks about family as if it's sacred, but deep down he knows he's the most dangerous thing in his own house. To his family, Penguin doesn't pretend. He doesn't need loyalty. He demands obedience. And when people break rank, they don't get a warning. They get a legacy-affirming death. So, now here we are. We must decide, after all of this, who is the most sick bastard. Tony is a man broken by love denied, haunted by everything he couldn't fix. A man who reaches for redemption, but keeps coming back empty-handed. That doesn't make him any less dangerous, it makes him more human. Penguin, he's something else. He's less human and more penguin. He's not confused, and he's not torn. He's freed completely of the burden of remorse. Tony is a monster who never stopped trying to be something else. Penguin is a man who killed that part of himself a long time ago. So, who's the most sick bastard? It's Penguin. It's not because he's bloodier. It's not because he's louder, but because he's purer in his emptiness. Because he feels nothing and builds everything. Because where Tony breaks down, Oz builds empires out of the ruins. Tony is a tragedy. Penguin is the final form. You can let me know if you think I got this wrong, but don't lie to yourself. You'd rather eat with Tony. You'd rather survive with the Penguin. This is Toro TV. Peace.